What's going on, everybody? It's Chris Classic dropping a video at the studio today. Lately I've been doing a lot of car vlogs, trip to work, trip from work. It's a lot easier, especially with my camera setup, but I got time today before I go to work, ironically. Let's talk about a big topic that a lot of people have been saying since she debuted. Let's talk about Jade Cargill. Let's be brutally honest about this. Let's be honest about it. It's called Take It Home, so we go straight to the point. I actually enjoy Jade Cargill as a wrestler and a performer. With that being said, she does need work. With that also being said, she's not the only wrestler who needs work. Now, a lot of people are upset that she won the title so early. A lot of people think she won the title because Big Swole went on that rant, which I agree with a lot of stuff she was saying, and they think that, oh, okay, well, they're just giving her the belt because Big Swole said something. I'm going to say I disagree with that because Jade already had a undefeated streak, and I feel like they were going to give her the title regardless of Big Swole stayed or went. So, there's a lot of botches. She does do a lot of botches. There's a lot of mess-ups, but she's not the only superstar that does it. She may do them more often than other people, but it's wrestling, and if she's taking it serious, then we give her time. A lot of people praise Britt Baker and a lot of people and Ty Conti and stuff like that. A lot of people praise them because they have improved. And it's only been about a year since Jay debuted with Shaq, which was also a big standing point too to perform with one of the greatest centers in basketball ever. He was one of my favorite players growing up, and I still like him. But going back to Jade, I think a lot of people are upset because she needs work, but she admits it. Now, that's one thing I actually don't like about wrestlers sometimes, especially on social media and stuff. I do like face and heel work. I do. I'm a sucker for that. And, when you're having a company that, one of the ex-VPs said, okay, they're going to try not to do it, even if you didn't believe it or not, it's kind of true because some people choose who they want to roll with or whatever like that. It doesn't matter. So for her to be on social media, I'm green as money. I'm as green as money. If a lot of you people who don't know, which I'm sure many of you who watch this do, being green means that you still need work in the ring. And she does. And, she admits that. And I hate that. But at the same time, AEW is known for breaking that fourth wall. So it's like, can't really put her at fault. She's been on Dark, she's been on Rampage, I believe she's been on Dynamite as well, and she's been dominating. See, as a promoter myself, sometimes you have to look at the weaknesses and strong points of a wrestler. And to me, from the outside looking in, I feel that if her matches are shorter, point comes across quicker. And I think she's just not ready for longer matches. And then also, wrestling is a team sport when you break it down. And I think that some of the people she went against, they're not good coaches. They're not good leaders. When you're dancing on the dance floor and you're dancing with somebody, if they're a good leader, it looks smooth. Or both of you are coordinating, you guys are doing good. Now, I'm not saying that the people that she went against suck or it's just that their fault. I'm just saying some of these women who are even considered vets who's been on the independent scene for a long time, they have been led and they're not good leaders on calling a match or even if a botch happens or stuff like that. Sometimes they're nervous. It's TV time and stuff like that. And I think that it doesn't show. I think it shows on TV. So this is why I think that Jade should have shorter matches than what she's doing. I know a lot of people are making fun of her because she did not kick out of a pin she was supposed to kick out of, and it made Aubrey look crazy because Aubrey stopped. And we can all talk about that, but there's literally a Twitter page that talks about AEW botches or whatever, and I'm sure that's going to be on it. Not trying to ridicule them or shed light or say anything negative, but botches do happen. And I think that the fact that AEW has a lot of people who don't wrestle or has a certain style where they're lackadaisical and they're like the most popular wrestler and they don't wrestle that much, that just says something. I also think that if they don't have her wrestling, it's constantly on the main TV shows. People talk about YouTube. The fact that AEW, Dynamite, and Rampage makes fun of the YouTube page is another issue we'll talk about another day. But maybe if you do have them more at Dark or at the wrestling school, I don't know what the Rhodes Wrestling Academy is going to do. I don't know if Cody owns it. I don't know if Dustin owns it. I don't know. But she needs work. She's not the only one that needs work. She may need work more than a lot of other people, but at least she admits it. And in wrestling, when somebody's criticizing you, a lot of people, especially the young bloods in the game, they say, oh, well, they're just hating. They don't know my potential. And sometimes it's the opposite. People know the potential. You look at Jade. Jade is a believable athlete, right? She's very believable. Outside of the muscles and being an athlete, playing basketball and stuff like that, and fitness model and all of that stuff, she's beautiful. And she's someone that a lot of people can rally behind. Now, I do know and I am aware that on her Twitter, a lot of people say racial remarks to her. And, you know, Twitter is very known for that. A lot of social media platforms are like that. But I know Twitter is like the most. Like, I've just got back on Twitter. And I probably won't be on it as much. I'm trying to get more on promoting my stuff. You know, get shirts at c3ultimatewrestling.com. But, you know, sometimes skin color does play a factor on people's criticism on a superstar. Now, you might not like her, and that's cool. I can't sit here and be like, oh, well, I like her because she's black. It's dope that she's black and doing the stuff that she's doing. Yeah, I'm going to admit that. But at the same time, I can admit that she needs work. But I can also admit that a lot of other people need work too. She, like I said, I'm going to say it again because I don't want to argue. I'm up for a debate though. She needs more work than a lot of other people. But she has star potential. They're already saying like some of her viewership, her rating, and her segments are going higher than some of the main event or some of the popular stars who may or may need work. I'm not going there. But at the same time, that just says something. She is money. And then she's training. And I hope and pray she continues to train. I'm hearing she's being trained by Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan is giving her props, saying like how many people are behind her more than they were behind him. And a lot of people are behind him now. So what does that say? That's like an ultimate rub for Jade Cargill. So I think as long as she keeps her head straight, she doesn't focus on Twitter, she doesn't focus on what everybody says about negative, as long as she continues to improve, she'll do great. Britt, a lot of people saw Britt improve. A lot of people say Ty Conti improve. A lot of people are seeing these wrestlers improve and becoming who they are. And it's only been a year. So a lot of people penalize her because they decided to have her wear the TBS women's title. But, you know, she's just doing what she's supposed to do. Botches happen. Accidents happen. Sometimes you forget stuff. It happens. It happens to me. But, you know, the biggest term a lot of people say is like, give it time. Especially when it comes to AEW pushing black wrestlers. But I'm saying for my standpoint, just give Jade time. You know, all her matches aren't bad. All of them aren't sloppy. All of them that. But well, like I said, to round it up to take it home before I go, highlight the positives, hide the negatives. Maximize the positives, minimize the negative. Find somebody that can show her how to operate in the match, even if something messes up. I just think that some of the women that she faces, they aren't equipped for that, or they're not ready for that, or maybe they bit off more than they can chew if it was them. Like, this is why you need to train and why you need to get better and stuff like that. And I do feel like if she continues to wrestle and she gets better and she improves and she listens, she'll be dope. And I like her now. So that's my thoughts on it. We could talk about it. I'm going to put it on my Facebook, Chris Classic Will. I'll put it on my YouTube page. We could talk about it, but she obviously has potential. And I think that is something that AEW is doing right, seeing that she has potential. But they can be better by molding her a little bit better, if that makes sense. But this is Chris Classic. Let's take it home.